Hello and welcome to the Crazy Train. I'm your host Rob Wade. I'm not joined by Blake this episode, sound of shovel to face. However, I am joined by intrepid hosts Omer Ibrahim,
the shovel,
and Brad Harmer Barnes.
Klaatu Barada Nikto.
That's racist.
What, the shovel?
Yeah.
No, that's the word for that type of implement we can use.
Oh. Oh yeah.
Just calling a shovel a shovel.
How the devil are you
Back
guys?
his ass at Mr. B.
Back at it once again with that racism.
Make the Crazy Train great again.
That's implying it never was. How the devil are you guys?
Yeah, I'm alright for the devil. Yeah, good.
Yeah?
Tired.
Right.
But
Tired?
I'm alive, I'm good,
Tired?
I'm here.
How's fatherhood treating you?
Yeah, he's alright.
Fatherhood.
Not as good as Father Christmas.
I haven't known him, you know.
None of that racism stuff against fatherhood.
Yo, I'm fatherhood. That wasn't even Luke.
That's not what I meant.
Still, mine's
good, still
older and trying to walk.
Wiser.
Older and wiser. She's no wiser. She's no wiser. Today she was, those like jelly decorations you get at Christmas of like snowflakes?
Uh-huh.
The
The easily triggered ones, right?
Yeah, that's the ones. Like the window decorations. So I had a load of those in my window at Christmas, which is it's March now, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't use all of them, so there's like a half packet. I was I'll save those and put them up next year rather than buy another whole packet.
Okay.
Daisy found those today and was just sticking them to her face, but trying to eat them. So she just had this snowflake stuck to her face. I'm just looking at her going, it's not mine. It's not mine. So yeah, no wiser, but older.
No, fair enough.
Wouldn't be able to reach her if she couldn't walk. So.
And how's fatherhood treating you, bro?
Yeah, well, I feel aged.
Yeah,
For
because
sure.
since last time.
Since last time I was on here, yeah, I'm now a dad as well.
Seal of approval.
Thank you. Yeah, it's weird. I still find get caught. I mean, she's 8 weeks old today, and
Mazel tov.
thank you.
I literally say it to everybody, okay?
None of us know what it means. If you do, right in.
There you go.
Yeah.
It was a type of cheese ball.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's for lime cheese.
That's the best I've got.
Yes. Yeah, she's 8 weeks old today, and it's weird because it's such a big life change.
Yeah.
Your working life changes, your sleeping bedroom changes, all of your social things change, life changes, and it's still weirds us out. It doesn't seem quite real yet. Because there's just times when I'm just sat with my wife and I'm just like, Charlie, yeah.
Are we watching Home Improvement? Because that's not real.
Yeah.
We've been
Charlie,
through this.
yeah. There's a baby in the room. I know. Yeah.
Is that your expression for when there's an uncomfortable truth you have to face?
Yeah.
Who's going to feed the baby in the
According
room?
to my mum, that never goes away.
Really?
Like, you just continually go, how do we... Look at that. Like, look what it's doing. In my case, it's making racist popular. No, not my mum. My mum doesn't have the racist
No,
part.
Oh, your baby daughter, you mean?
Yeah, that's the one.
This town's only big enough for one of us, bitch.
The Daisy car.
Daisy cast. Send them all back. I don't know who she means.
We normally make her into a sort of a posh guy. Her voice from him, her girlfriend's. Daddy, would you put that back? Like, Daddy, I need some milk.
Yeah.
That's how she talks. So
Yeah.
she hates you. Well, not hates you, but just wants nothing to do with you. The other day, was it?
Yeah,
Have
to
you
be
done a
fair.
thing where you've used the baby as a puppet to talk to your other half?
Daily.
Yeah. Yes.
Daily.
I think that's quite a common
My
parent.
most recent one is to perch her next to her mum and use it and just demand a gin. That's
No, I make.
It's time for gin. You mean milk? Yes. Also gin.
In the absence of gin, I will accept milk.
Daisy has one thing where she's a criminal mastermind, but all she wants is milk.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, well, now she's on almond milk. She's lactose intolerant, but she's off baby milk. But
Is she or is she a
can't-
hipster?
Yeah, a little bit like. But she,
I was a baby before Ray turned up.
it's not a lie.
Yeah.
These are facts.
Raise my dog's name.
She's an almond milk. But yeah,
Yeah.
it went from like, Daddy, we'll get a cow, yes, then we have milk, yes, and it'll be free. We'll have to feed the cow. No, it'll be free. Now it's
cow gin.
Daddy, how do you milk an almond? He just squeezes really hard on the others. So she's either a criminal mastermind or...
Milk an almond, squeeze it really hard on the others.
Yeah.
Okay.
You tell me a better way to milk an almond.
Carefully.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
They end up with like their own... Babies seem to be criminals whenever I get near them anyway, so... They just want, because they want.
Are they actual criminals or are they accessories to your crime?
Yeah, well, little column mate. We know when you have to cut a hole in a window in a jewellery store to steal the rings.
I wouldn't.
It's a lot smaller if you put a baby through rather than yourself.
Yeah,
so, you know.
Baby hand is like smaller.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's smaller. And if you manage to get them to break into a greengrocer's, right, then you can quite literally have a baby's arm holding an apple.
What we discovered is that Omer...
That's a metaphor!
What we discovered is Omer can't hold Ray while Daisy's in the room.
Oh,
it's
God.
traumatic.
Me or my girlfriend. Daisy freaks out if we hold your child. It's really cute.
Yeah.
Because the fact that she's jealous means that there's a connection, there is love, it's not just milk.
You'd hope there would be anyway.
Yeah. Well, Daisy's really, like, as you should... She won't necessarily go to everybody, but she doesn't need to be sat on Mummy and Daddy's lap.
You don't have to make me feel better. It's okay. She's
I don't know
allowed
what
to
that was with you. So
we all have our reasons.
Exactly.
We were at a movie night the other day, and she just wouldn't.
Not that powerful.
She would look at you and smile. She would. She doesn't like that you think Ray's a Mary Sue. It's my namesake, bitch.
No, the actress is.
She would smile at you and. She wasn't like afraid of you, but she just wouldn't go near you.
To be fair, I am freakishly tall.
You are, yeah.
You're
about the height of her granddad.
And I have got one of those faces.
No,
you know the kind of face I mean.
One of those faces.
I've got Ray doing Wade face.
Yeah. So for the listeners on the audio show,
wonderful.
Wade face is a kind of it's a skeptical look.
Skeptical, sarcastic glance.
I think it's the physical manifestation of, huh?
Yeah,
but in almost like slightly aggressive,
like a silent. Run that by me again.
It's not so much a huh as it is a what.
You what now?
It's a genetic thing. My dad's. I caught my dad.
Dad constantly questions.
Well,
things.
we used to call. We've always called it white face. And one day I was just talking to my dad and I said something and he just did white face back at me and it was like a weird send me back to my own dimension.
Yeah, it's a genetic condition.
Ray so looks like baby me. It's amazing. And I know
seen pictures.
Yeah, it's like I've cloned myself, and she does. And
again,
after the last time I sort of back in.
I've made a promise.
I've caught her doing like my glances and my Wade faces and stuff like that. For want of a better term.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Is Wade facing the overuse of Wade face? I've caught her and I've caught myself saying to her, "Don't look at me with my own face."
Which is what I said to that guy who snuck into my house once.
Shortly before I met her serial killer.
No, the cutest thing with Ray the other day was when I remembered that she has a shorter range of vision than say Daisy.
She's trying her best.
Yeah, no, yeah, she's getting there.
8 weeks.
But it was when I went up to I went like a foot away from her face, and she went, "Ooh!" Like there's a thing that like she notices me all of a sudden. It was really sweet. But I'd forgotten that because you do. It was only like holding her and that, and I'm like Daisy is just over a year old, and holding Ray who's 8 weeks now was like, oh, I remember. You wouldn't think you could forget all that, like the way they hold themselves and the way all these just little things that you did naturally in a year. You just go, oh right. So I couldn't imagine having another one right now. Like that would be
no. We need a break.
Yeah, no, totally. We said me and
Charlotte. You guys need a break. Imagine how the missus feels.
Oh, absolutely. Me and Charlotte are absolutely decided on not having another, and I do get there's that whole social media thing about people going like, oh, so when's another one, or when asking people who don't want children when you're having children, and it doesn't break me, it doesn't make me want to go home and cry, but it just because there's no like emotional reason for like we're not like, oh, we can't have another one, so don't ask us. It's just we don't want another child.
Yeah,
we're done. We're happy with one. It might change in a few years' time. We never know.
Absolutely.
But the way we are now, I don't want to. I know it's really bad. I don't want to share myself with another child. I want to give everything to Daisy. Mm-hmm. And but yeah, the amount of people just when you have another, even my own sister, and she knows my feelings on it. Oh, go on out. When are you? And people are really bad. Like, oh, but a child needs a brother or sister. No,
not necessarily.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Charlotte, my missus was a single child.
Yeah, that reminds me of a really shitty thing people do. As soon as someone's pet dies, one of the things they want to ask is, are you going to get another one?
Yeah, I get that.
Fuck off.
Yeah, it just died.
I mean, this one,
yeah. I mean, it's entirely possible that you may come back with, at some point, but maybe, but at the same time, fuck off.
You wouldn't do that if a child died, would you?
Or a parent.
Like, No, I mean, like, it could be one thing for a baby to die, right? And that, like, I guess the question, if a young baby died, would the parents want another one? Maybe they'd want another.
Everyone would deal with it.
But you wouldn't ask, like, somebody's 25 and gone off to war, would you? Oh, well, he got shot by the Taliban, did he? Are you going to have another one?
No,
Send another one out there.
He was 27.
Bloody bush.
Which was old for a cat.
I don't know why we sent him off to war in the first place. Couldn't even hold the gun.
Wanted to make catnip great again.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I've heard it's Moorish as shit.
Ever since, like, I don't smoke, but ever since I heard that catnip is of the tobacco family, I want to smoke catnip to see if I turn out like a cat.
You're a weird guy.
I am.
Yeah. Well, it would mean is you would just be kind of laying out and just stretching your arms out as far as they could possibly go.
Look how fucking long I am.
At 300 RPM.
Playing with your own laser pointer.
Yeah.
Oh God, I am the dot.
Look forward to E40's new YouTube series. Omer smokes his way through Pets at Home.
Oh, we talked about it.
Are available.
So a friend of mine had in his youth was quite experienced with all forms of drug, recreational drug, right? And I have never put a cigarette to my lips. I have never.
How have you been smoking then?
Accidentally. I don't know.
All the
Something
goodies
else
done.
puckers
I
up.
shoved them up the arse.
I've obviously drunk beer and wine and cider and meat and stuff like that, but I have accidentally done magic mushrooms. I think I told that story, didn't I?
I don't know.
Very basically, it was cooked into a
casserole?
No, it was in a squash.
I don't know.
Was it a squash?
Butternut.
In a butternut, cooked into a butternut squash. My friend was having a party, and there's a few people there having a smoke of this and that, and that's cool. It's not my bag, but you do what you want. It's a party, right? We're all having a barbecue, and the guy whose party it was had a couple of puffs on something and was a little bit away. So I was like, I'll do the cooking. I enjoyed cooking on a barbecue. And somebody had brought 2 stuffed butternut squashes, and I said, any difference between the 2 of them? They went, oh, one's got mushrooms, one hasn't. Oh, lovely, I like mushrooms. Didn't think about it.
No,
I just didn't think about it. It's a perfectly innocent
To be fair,
answer.
a barbecue, that is a reasonable question.
Exactly.
An answer that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, so I cooked on the mushrooms. I ate a little bit, and my mouth got a bit cockney, and I was like, person who brought it, what mushrooms are these? And she was like, oh dear, we need to get you a coffee. But that
Sorry, your mouth went a bit what?
cockney.
Cottony. Sorry, I thought you said cockney.
My mouth was a bit, oh, these mushrooms.
God, where'd you get these mushrooms, Governor?
Blimey, didn't get these down Camden Market, did you?
We'd like to apologise to the people of Cockney for whatever their accent is supposed to be.
I'd like to apologise for people of Cockney for living in a place that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'd like to apologise for the people of Cockney for doing you a lemon.
But so that's about as far as I've ever done with drugs. So we were talking about doing a YouTube series called Omer Does Drugs, where I just have to work out how to do drugs. Well, I've injected myself with this heroin, and so far it's bitten me.
You inject yourself with a heroin?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know much about drugs, that's the joke.
Right.
Christ.
And also, I don't know if you'd be able to video yourself shooting up on YouTube.
Well, not with the heroin anyway.
No, you could do the after show, like Boy George.
Yeah, exactly. Well, actually, here's the thing. They would probably ban me. They'd probably ban footage of me injecting heroin into my arm. Not of me trying to inject myself with a heron. This is how we're going to get around it. I'm going to get a large seabird. No, it's not a seabird. It's like a pond bird.
Freshwater.
Large bird. Large bird.
The bird that bothered my garden.
What need have we for adjectives? It's a large bird.
This bird don't bite arm.
Large is never mind.
So I'm going to inject a heron with weed.
You inject yourself with a weed.
Yeah, but no, I'm going to inject a heron. Oh. It's just a YouTube series of me getting a heron high off drugs.
It's a podcast. We're going to ask him afterwards.
Hurrah!
Yeah, I'm dead now.
Yeah.
And so you need drugs.
Yeah, well, it's been discussed. There's been times, and I'm not ashamed of it, there's been times when I need some crank. I need it now. Yeah.
And then wrestling, we used to call, like on the road and that, we used to call Pro Plus 2. As it gives you energy like cocaine does.
Right. Yeah.
But it was like, you'd be, pass us the 2. And you'd be in somewhere that didn't know what that meant. You're just passing around a covert box of cocaine.
Yeah. You know how, when people do, it's pot and stuff with Pink Floyd, isn't it? Or LSD or something.
They were certainly into all that.
Yeah. There was a bit of drugs to do.
When you do Toot, you have to listen to, the Thomas the Tank Engine teachings. There's a big sniff if they didn't record very well. No, I think it came out fine.
The big sniff is my favourite stoner band. It really does sound like a band.
Big sniff, the big stab, the big syringe,
the big heroin,
the big eat. Oh no, that's another thing.
That's not what you do at a
I think
restaurant.
that's just a restaurant.
Yeah.
I was listening to every now and again, like I dig up an older Crows train to give it a re-listen, and just by chance of what I listened to earlier today was the first one Omer came back on after Daisy was born, and he was like, "Oh, the birth was wonderful, everything went beautifully, so you sucked all our luck away."
Yeah.
The previous 24, the moment where they handed me my baby was lovely. The preceding 24 hours was the worst day of my life.
I remember you saying about it, yeah.
Without it. Because first of all, on the Monday morning, I had to get up and go to work.
That always sucks.
I hated my old job anyway.
That always
so,
sucks.
And then about 10 o'clock, I started getting a message saying I'm getting these contractions.
Hallucinations.
So I'm getting these contractions.
I keep seeing a baby coming out of my bag.
So I was starting to get these contractions. I don't think they're Braxton Hicks. And I said, I'm Braxton Hudson. And she said, Hudson aliens. I don't get that joke. I've told you this before.
And then you said, how do you know it's from aliens?
Yeah. He's actually been waiting to get a girl up the duff to tell that joke. I just said up the duff in a public forum.
Not like any cunt listens. I laugh because people do.
They do. At least 50.
Exactly.
Which is more than...
Positively figures.
Yeah, more than saw you fight Jimmy Snooker.
There you go.
No, that was a... Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah. I'm just thinking about
not fucking
it seemed pretty packed, but no, it wasn't.
That was the glare in your eyes from the lights, mate.
Hey, it was a glass ceiling. There's two jokes in there.
It's not a metaphor.
And as the day went on, eventually it got to just past lunch. Someone was like, "No, I need you to come home now."
Yeah.
And so I said to work, "I'm going. I probably won't be in tomorrow."
Yeah. Did you at least time it like around lunch or
Oh,
just after?
I'll just for the end of lunch. I'm
Oh,
not stupid. Yeah.
Perfect.
So I get home and I don't know if anyone listening to this, the birthing balls, they kind of like yoga balls.
Oh, yeah.
Massive beach balls. And I get home and she's just bouncing up and down the mat like a space hopper.
Yeah.
And the weird part of pregnancy is by that time, that was perfectly normal. It's your dishwasher reversing.
It is the dishwasher reversing, yeah.
Ah.
About it.
What is it? Is it to make the plates dirty again?
No, it's just finished.
Ah. Fuck off!
Hey!
I'll go and open it. I'm just going to do that again.
Okay, well, what do you think, mate?
Yes, sir.
Come.
The microphone looks like a big cock. Cock. Need me some cock. That's so
This would never happen if Blake was here.
Yeah, well, he'd have gone off for a piss.
Yeah.
in the washing machine.
Yeah.
A bladder the size of a chocolate orange.
Dishwasher.
Someone's picked on your plate.
It's a Venuthi.
Now, where are my boxing gloves?
Something most people listening who don't know what Blake looks like. They're never going to think it's Mike Tyson.
Yeah, that's a big. Is Blake not a big black dude?
Who's
with
that
a
guy?
facial tattoo?
If it's not him, then who the fuck have we been inviting on?
Hello, I'm Blake Thomas.
Hello, I'm Mike Tyson.
I'm playing the fight. Well, this is going in the credits.
Yeah.
Sure. No, it's staying in the episode. Fuck it. Why not? Anyway, so she's on the ball.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Girls being on the ball does ruin relationships, but as a baby.
Time goes on. And basically, from that moment, there is a hell of a long way until anything happens.
Right.
And so it was at Ring Hospital every hour and a half, so like contractions are this regular.
Yep.
And it got to the point where it was like, and she was really suffering.
Yeah. Did you get any packing done or anything while you're waiting, or?
No. Did I? I might have done
You'd be a cunt if you did.
I'm
not going to sugarcoat
To be
that.
fair, you'd be a mug if you didn't.
While Charlotte was going through contractions, all I did was be a leaning post who went, breathe in, now breathe out. I mean, I would have loved to get some pain.
She's smart enough to do that.
I mean, she was uncomfortable, but
condescending shit.
Charlie was uncomfortable. She was sitting up watching movies and stuff.
Yeah,
she wasn't bedridden.
Anything good?
She watched Ip Man and she watched Kingsman.
Good choice.
Yeah, take mind off it for sure.
Great choices.
Yeah. You seen
Trying
both
to
of
think.
those?
No, what was the first one?
Ip Man, Johnny Yen.
I have seen that at a party, so I haven't really watched
You
it.
got some weird parties.
Yeah.
Kung Fu movie party.
Yeah.
Go to the party and everybody's just doing a bit of it. But I can control it.
Yeah.
1 or 2 fight scenes at a push and I'm good.
Ta.
Right, so she's watching movies.
Everyone's there just doing a bit of Donnie Yen. You think I'll have a bit of Michael J. White, see how I get on. And and eventually hospital says that obviously the pain's getting too much.
Yep.
We need to come in. So I put the gas mask off, put the primer down, start a little comfortable. And
It's okay, I've made that joke a thing now.
Yeah.
I don't think it actually happened. I think I don't even think he's that desperate to complete his painting collection. He would have been spraying chemicals near his pregnant wife.
Yeah, but can I
It would explain her
again?
But it would explain her middle name, Agrax. So we go into the hospital and they say we go in the room, we get her checked out.
Already? She's just got there. It's a fucking shit service.
Oh, I thought they were just looking at her ass.
Oh.
Well, I suspect there was a bit of that. And they're doing all the tests.
Like you are doing.
They're doing all the tests.
Up you will.
They're doing all the tests, and there's the contractors are at the state they're supposed to be. And the time you get to hospital, they said, "Okay, the trouble is your cervix hasn't dilated yet." And they're like, "Okay, so the contractions are what they are, the cervix." Yeah. I was like, I've got a corkscrew. Back when I was doing painting, I had a pin light, so I could have done it with that.
No, dude, on the day the baby's going to be born, putting a sharp implement in there is far too late. Yeah. That's the worst joke I've ever told. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Lucky we don't have sponsors to piss off.
Sponsored by the abortion clinic. No.
Good Christ.
It's alright, they've got no.
I'm convinced he saves it up.
If there's a line in the Marc's good taste, you run past it holding a shit-coloured dildo in each hand, don't you?
That's alright, I've got no sponsors.
Hashtag Krusty Tray.
Yeah, very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you both here.
Yeah.
I'm your Cummins.
Fuck's sake, Blake.
Basically, what they're looking for is for cervix to be dilated 10 centimetres.
Okay.
Is the goal we're aiming for.
Oh, they're metric.
Yeah.
Funny that.
Yes.
Just get into a meeting.
It is a metric. You know what they are, actually. Yeah, because they measure the length from... Yeah, shit, fine.
Well,
to be fair, I've had this argument once since I pointed out to one thing. Because your argument was, I bet you can't name one thing.
Yeah.
I just win more every day.
It just gives more numbers when I'm measuring my penis, so I'm fine with that.
There you go, see? This is it. I tend to do it in hectares, and it's less than one.
You've run out of numbers.
And so we go on to wards to she said, just relax here we'll come and check you in a couple of hours, because you haven't, your cervix isn't dilated at all yet, we think. It's going to be a while. And an hour later, she's like...
We got a table on the outside if you want to do that spray in there. I was halfway through.
Sorry. Gas and air comes out.
One coat.
Could you hook up an airbrush to the gas and air?
I don't know.
It comes out quite a bit of pressure.
Yeah.
So
if there's anybody listening who either works at Games Workshop, part-time at an emergency maternity ward, or both, write to us at podcast@emotionally14.com and end this farce. Could you hook
an airbrush up to the gas and air machine in the hospital?
All right.
It's a real shame when you're looking for an airbrush maestro who's used to nightmarish scenes. It's a real shame H.R. Geiger's dead.
Yeah. To be fair, that's true in many respects.
It is, yeah.
I liked Willie's.
And so he really did. Yeah. And about an hour later, so I was like, I'm really uncomfortable, I need to have a look. And they did, and they said, yeah, you've dilated 6 centimetres, we need to get you to.
Yeah.
So it was like, wham, like that. And
Jesus Christ.
Charlie, if you're listening to this, Brad just made a motion where he moved his arms apart as if he was measuring an albatross, talking about your cervix when he said wham like that.
That was silly.
Sleep tight tonight, Brad.
That was silly. She doesn't listen.
She's got any sense.
Yeah. She hasn't. Everything about her goes wham.
I got permission to tell this story before I came on.
Oh, that's good. That's very.
That explains why you're wearing a thong.
I'm a man who knows his limits.
Says his limits.
Yeah. And
he break.
Oh,
he breaks so nice. He breaks so easy.
Yeah. You always make me feel so welcome. But being on the delivery suite.
That's another podcast, you fucking traitor.
Yeah, talk cervix.
There's an After Dark Side joke in there. I won't make.
But from the time we got to the delivery suite through from the time we moved on was the worst time of my life.
Yeah.
All joking aside, because it was just like every 2 minutes my wife's in incredible agony. All I can do is just hold her hand through it. The gas and air was just about holding it off.
Yeah, and you're just, and also you're probably juggling brushes and
yeah.
George Michaels is there. George Michaels.
Oh, he was dead by then.
Wham!
Yeah. I'm going to add that to the list of onomatopoeia I'm going to regret. And that's our list.
It does have 2 things on it.
Yeah.
Here's a list. Hear that, BuzzFeed? we're coming for you.
But it was just...
Craigslist of unappear he'll regret. Number 7 will shock you.
And after a while, Tony was like, I need an epidural, which, for those of you who don't know, I hope it's lovely if you don't know, because you haven't been through this yet. It's a spinal injection of anaesthetic. And she didn't want to do it at first because that can make it a bit harder to feel what's going on. Right. You're less in control of the contraction. So I said, are you absolutely sure? Because all the time leading up to here...
Are you epidural?
Yeah.
Wow.
Is that all you're going to do?
While he's asking if she's alright, the doctor's just gone into the back. Wham!
Yeah, went in overarm.
Just took a run up and everything. It's ridiculous. We later learned he was a former
And I said, right, you did say to me you wanted natural birth, and if you asked for anything else, I had to double check that's what you want, and I knew that was the wrong thing to say as soon as
Are you sure? Because you asked me to check, and oh god, I wish I wasn't.
I've got to get you an anaesthetist myself. And they tried to do the epidural, and the epidural didn't take. So it was about 20 minutes of jabbing at her spine with a needle for absolutely no result whatsoever.
Great sense of wham.
And that's why it didn't work. And then it just seemed like a night which lasted forever. And it just, you look at the clock and you think...
And not in the romantic 1990s
I never want this to end. It's like, fuck me, this never ends.
It was like hell.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah,
absolutely awful.
Did you get the time meld where you look at the clock and it could be either of the 8 o'clocks?
I literally, it was like midnight when it was 3 o'clock, and it was 1 o'clock. My brain was just fried by that point. And we had to, we tried doing a morphine. We found out it was a morphine injection.
A Morpheus.
Yeah.
Just jump up in the air and kick her out.
Wow. Oh, he just hit me on the head. I'm not going to say
it.
See what makes the cut of that bit. Might be all of it. Who knows?
Anyway,
listeners.
It's like being back there again. This is nightmarish.
It was 1 o'clock, it was 3 o'clock, it was 8 o'clock.
Yeah, this is a nightmarish loop. And then they tried to do another epidural. They tried to do another anaesthetic, and they said, okay, this one will make you a bit drowsy. That's okay. But the trouble was, it was like a contraction would come in, and she would hit the button so that it would deliver a shot of this anaesthetic.
Right.
Unfortunately, by the time it kicked in, the contraction had been and gone.
Oh.
So the anaesthetic would kick in after the contraction, and then it would just make her fall asleep. She'd fall asleep with the gas and air still in her mouth as well. And it was just like, this is pretty fucking dangerous. Please don't fall asleep. Something on into not. It's awful.
Yeah. And it's not bad enough you're operating heavy machinery after this.
Yeah. I'm moving the models the other side of the room.
Lucky I bought that case. You all laughed at me.
Felled her a bitch. And it was just and they didn't tell us that anaesthetic had morphine in it. Which is because you probably should check they've got a morphine allergy. Yeah. It's a morphine intolerance, which meant she was then projectile vomiting after every dose. And so there was just this sleep deprived hell of someone I love in agony, and then the smell of vomit as well. And I hate to say I had the worst time in the room because I certainly fucking didn't. But it was
up there.
It's not just as bad. It's so much worse for her, but it is awful being the one to sit and watch it as well.
I can imagine.
Yeah,
it's horrible in its own way.
I get. Yeah, there is no way on earth you can say I went through as much or I went through. Absolutely not. But you go through something completely different because you are so powerless. And if you talk, and since then I've had sort of problems with remembering, not in a bad way. You can get
it's concussion.
You do.
Sorry about
Charlotte kind of almost got like PTSD from it. Now, considering her birth was pretty uniform and by all comparisons really well, but you get some people who come back from war and they're like, my mate got shot. It was terrible, and then like somebody throws a firecracker at them in the street and they freak out. You never know what's going to trigger PTSD. Yeah. Charlotte was getting some really, really bad things. She's got to get some wonderful therapy to help her through that now. And I was getting like a little bit of just seeing her face like that. And when you talk to other dads or other birthing partners, men, women, dads, anybody, that's the number one thing that puts them sort of in a bad place is the helplessness, because you're actually almost told do nothing. Yeah. You know what and I think I said the most terrible thing about the birth was when I was told, like I said, 90% of my time in that room was either giving Charlotte water when she needed it, or saying, I was telling her when to breathe in and when to breathe out so that she had something to concentrate on other than the pain.
Yeah.
Right? And that was 90% of what I did. Anything else was just mop my brow, get the nurse, stuff like that, right?
Mop your brow?
Yeah.
You selfish
sweaty bastard.
She needed it far more than you did.
And the nurse, the midwife afterwards said, in all honesty, you've been one of the best birthing partners I've ever seen. And I thought, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. If he'd have broken out that way. That's wonderful.
Oh my God. Why instead of Daisy?
That's a wonderful thing to tell me, but an absolutely fucking disgusting thing to have to say. It's how shit is every other birthing partner that goes in. And it might be, when a band goes, Newcastle, you're the best we've ever played. I hoped it was like that. We're not going to say
we thought Stoke was just fast.
Exactly, yeah.
Because nobody would say that.
But if all I did was tell her when to breathe and I felt completely useless, apparently I was amazing, what the fuck do the shit dads do? Birthing partners.
If I can finish my story, we'll find out what the shit dads do. But that was the weird part was, so she would have a contraction. The gas neck would give her a really dry mouth, so I'd just hand her water, but she couldn't drink too much water, so she drank too much water, morphine was making her vomit.
Yeah.
So it's like this tiny little sip of water, sit back down, shut eyes for about 40 seconds, another contraction comes back in, and it was just that constantly for about 6 hours. And it got through to 8 o'clock in the morning of this, and Charlie just said, no, this has gone too long, I need to see a doctor. I'm pretty midwives are doing their best, but I know something's not right.
Yeah.
And we did manage to get a doctor to come in and check, and they said the head isn't engaged.
Sorry?
The head isn't engaged.
Oh.
So the baby's head is supposed to drop down, ready to go. She'd gone back up.
Oh, wow.
And
so she'd basically gone... not time yet. Like,
she'd be like,
she's not ready to be born. The baby has to operate.
No, the midwife said we need to get you to surgery as soon as possible. So I was like, okay. And I was just shell shocked about this.
Yeah, of course.
I was just telling what do I need? Can I leave stuff here? Are we coming back here? Yeah, we're coming back here.
You worry about the little things, right?
Are our bags going to be safe here?
You're worried about leaving your fucking blood bowl on me behind.
It is all the little silly things like that you micromanage.
All right.
You might
manage fucking resin. They're fiddly. I didn't want them broken.
It went out, that's right.
Yeah. And so we went down to surgery, and at that point they tried to do another spinal, and that didn't work again. And that was 40 minutes of just whamming in about her back.
Wasn't me this time,
wasn't it?
No.
See, I'm still out of it. I got PTHD, which is like PTSD, only far better.
Nicer resolution.
Yeah.
You want to get?
I can see him dying clearly.
Yeah.
You want to get PT 4K?
Yes. 60 FPS trauma.
PT Blu-ray. Yeah. Oh, and PT Blu-ray. I'm going to sell you some dodgy movies now. I don't know why he's Irish.
Why not? PT. Pete.
Yeah, Pete. It's pretty Irish name, isn't it?
Yeah. So it was
right in and tell us. Hello, Ireland.
That was the
Goodbye,
worst.
Ireland.
That was one of the worst bits. It wasn't even like I could hand her water. I couldn't hold her hand at that point. I was just standing in a room wearing a blue paper fucking outfit and hat.
Oh, you don't want to get paint down the front of your shirt.
Exactly.
Was it the hospital one, or did you just come dressed like a sailor?
They make you wear them.
Yeah.
And they said, okay, we're going to try the ventouse. If that doesn't work, we'll do a C-section.
What's a ventouse? Sorry.
Ventouse, the forceps to help guide the baby.
Yeah.
Almost like barbecue film. The ventouse is a massive suction cup which goes on the top of the baby's head.
Oh, okay. I've never heard it referred to.
They don't wham it on and just pull it out. It just they almost use it to steer it through the contractions if it's not in the right place.
And they go, aha!
Yeah. These babies, because their skulls aren't formed, it gives them, I think it's really cute. They get these little cone heads.
Yeah.
I think they look really
sweet. Dan Aykroyd, I had a tattoo of Dan Aykroyd, but I didn't want my daughter looking like that.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I didn't want. Sorry, I think we've just come up with the episode title. I didn't want my daughter to look like Dan Aykroyd.
if I can get it in the episode title boundaries, then why not?
Just want you to know Dan Aykroyd. Wham!
Yep, done. Lock it in.
And then so we tried to spinal, that failed, and they said we're just going to do a C-section, but we're going to have to do it under general anaesthetic, and you're going to have to leave. We can't have you anymore to do it under general. And Tolly's absolutely terrified at this time, and she's just like, if I die, make sure you take her to go and see her brother. She's got to keep in contact with my sort of family, just look after her, be a good dad to her.
Because of course,
and I know she's going to be fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
These doctors have done this operation several times.
They fucking do it with their eyes closed.
And yet
there's still that kind of
absolutely.
Yeah, and I was just like, if you die, I'm just going to name her Gwen Stacy, and
It's what she would have wanted.
It's what she would have wanted.
You can't name somebody after they die. Oh, but baby.
Yeah.
I just decided to change her name on a
Decided
whim.
not dead anymore. And so, and they just kind of escorted me out, and I just went and sat down in the hall outside, handed me a glass of water, and the midwife came by and said, "Did you need a break?" And I said, "No, they won't let me in there." And she said, "Don't worry, it won't take long." And about 3 minutes later, I heard the baby crying, and it was mine, and it was just this.
I gave it was yours because that would be really weird anticlimax. I heard this baby.
It was that
crying.
moment of, is that my one? And
You're like, where can I put this glass of water? I mean, it's got all my paintbrushes in it.
Can you hold this? Please? Don't drink it.
It was just
All done it.
that moment of hearing that baby cry, and yeah, there was that momentary. Is that it's like when you're watching a televised snooki match? Like, why are they applauding? Oh, there's another table. And just hearing that crying, and it was part. I was so happy that she was here, and it was part. I was just so fucking relieved that day was over.
Absolutely, yeah.
And
what time of day was she born?
9:50 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Do you know most babies are born in the early hours?
Really?
It's a natural human thing because that's when all the predators are asleep. The predators wake up. They come.
my mental image is flying away. So yeah.
Like any natural predator will be asleep by sort of midnight and will wake up again with the early sun.
Yeah.
So
human
babies are born in the early hours of the morning because it's the safest time to make noise.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I was born 4:30 in the afternoon because apparently fuck it.
Yeah. I was born.
I'll take my chance.
You were like, I want to see a predator.
So when you I don't know if you had it like afterwards when you're in the hospital with the other mums and dads and that, and you see. Like we stayed there for 2 nights, and it was the early hours of the morning. We'd hear other beds coming in and stuff like that as new babies being born. Yeah. It was really nice. It was
like being on a cruise.
Every
couple of days they just
new people coming.
Yeah.
It's quite nice because when you walk into the ward with your baby for the first time, other people welcome you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, welcome, congratulations. And then when you're in there, it's your job to do the welcoming, and it's a lovely little.
I mean, so after about 2 minutes after that, they were just like, "Congratulations, she's all fine." And I said, "Have you got a hat and a nappy?" Yeah, I did. I brought my change bag with me.
Yeah.
They said, "We need a hat on this."
It's underneath the fifth edition codex.
And so this nappy was fucking massive on a newborn baby.
Yeah.
It looked like he's wearing inflatable pants. And
kind of are. After about an hour, they are.
Yeah. I'm not joking. And then the midwife kind of handed the baby to me, and I was so sleep deprived and so traumatised that I just held my daughter and said to the midwife, "What do I do with her?"
Yeah. You just vocalise what everybody else does.
Yeah, she said, "You can hug her." And I said, "I can do that." She said, "Well, we'll put her in
put the paints down."
Yeah.
But they're not trying.
They said,
I haven't even done the eyes
we said we
yet.
need to put her inside your t-shirt for the body warmth before she needs a moment. So I just cut the scrubs off me and just put her up my t-shirt. And that was the first time just kind of looking down my t-shirt at her. And she actually opened her eyes and looked at me. And I was just like, "Hey, your name's Ray. I think I'm your dad. So you can call me."
I think I'm your dad.
Welcome to the world. Welcome to the Jeremy Kyle show.
In all seriousness, was so out of it. That's what I said.
Yeah, you said something.
It was just like, "Hi,
I'm trying to
I'm
remember
Brad.
the first things I said to Daisy.
Your mum's going to be along in a minute.
Should have said around.
Have you seen American Werewolf in London?" That's your favourite John Landis movie.
Yeah, silly, of course.
Because I was just like, I just got to talk
through yet.
No, but I was just got to talk to her about anything. So I literally, my mouth just moved fast. My brain, which is, as Omer knows, it's pretty standard.
Yeah. I think the first thing I'd welcomed her. Obviously, I had the advantage that Charlotte was conscious, so I said, "Welcome, little one," which is what I say to every child I ever meet. The first time, welcome.
Hello there.
And oh my god, it really is a Jurassic Park thing, mate. It's probably ingrained.
If I have a son, he will be called Ben, and that will be my. If I think to do it, that will be my first way. Hello there. Or it'll be General Grievous, and I'll just cough on him.
Come on, little one.
Yeah.
Come on, little one. Did you peel off their shell?
Challenging.
I don't know. I was tired.
Yeah.
I remember singing to her while I went for a shower. I was singing. I was singing Shinedown.
Sabotage.
I remember, yeah.
Before I tell the next start, I've got to rewind a little bit.
Right.
We were doing the entity classes and people were talking about all the different bird plans they had. And I said to Charlie, "Are you going to want a photo?" Because obviously Omer and Charlotte put up a photo on my private Facebook group. Yeah. And it was like seconds after Daisy was born.
The photo was... But she came out, they towelled her up a little bit, put her on Daisy's chest. We had a big... on Charlotte's chest. had a squeeze, and then I grabbed my phone.
Yeah.
And
the
I'm
Xbox
not.
machine is still in the corner.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not one to do that. I'm very much one to live in the moment rather than take a photo. But I thought sacrifice 5 seconds to take a nice selfie, for want of a better phrase, and that will last forever. And I'm so proud I got to do it. And then I think it was the following morning or hours later.
So you shared the photo.
Shared it to a private group on Facebook.
Later on, it was like
a bit more. When we got home,
said, that's perfectly fine for every shot. That's not what I want to do.
Okay.
I want to kind of just enjoy it for a bit, and then we'll take a proper photo later. Plus, I'll be sweaty and I'll be horrible and I'll look disgusting. The baby will look weird when it's first born.
I don't know what you're thinking.
No, I'm only smiling because I have got my sister's version of that photo, and she looks immaculate from both of her children. Her she apparently Paul was like, "We'll take a photo." This is her other half, Paul. "We'll take a photo," and she went, "Give me a sec," and grabbed her makeup bag. And I'm not. Don't anybody ever say that I'm saying that my sister put that before her child. She didn't. But she just apparently took like 10 seconds with like a little bit of foundation and her brush. Yeah. She looks beautiful in the photo, and it's one of my favourite because that's my sister. She's very, very image proud.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be her if she didn't look beautiful in that photo. Yeah. You know, she's obviously sweating, worn out, but she looks beautiful.
Charlie's very insistent that when we get back to the ward, we'll take a proper nice photo, send it to people, clean the baby up, everything will be fine.
Okay.
So about 20 minutes after they've been closing Charlie up in the theatre, trying to make sure she was okay, and wheeling her back out. And she was just about coming round.
They added wheels, that's awesome.
On her belly, so she has to wheel around like a skateboard.
The wheel went dead back at fucking, that's like DMing all over it.
Oh, put brakes on, I'm going to hit the wall.
And she says, the first thing she says is, "Where's my baby?" And she looks over and she sees just this tuft of hair poking out of my t-shirt.
She's like, "Oh my god, I thought you were going to shave that. That's pathetic."
Like a badly shoplifted coconut. And she goes, "Oh yeah." She goes, "Oh, there she is," and she relaxed. And the says, "Okay, well, Mum needs a colour." She says, "Of course, Mum needs a colour. That's very important."
That's totally fair.
Yeah. So, but I need your help getting her out of my t-shirt because she's hiding.
Yes.
And she had like hunched down. I was like, I can't physically get her out of my own t-shirt. I'm terrified of dropping this small person.
Yeah, you have no idea how to hold them. They feel like a bundle of eggshells.
Yeah. And now I'm just like picking her up with one hand,
tossing her about the room,
spinning around by the leg.
Rugby passes.
You saw the way I play with Daisy on Saturday.
Which is a year and a bit.
Yeah, exactly. I was giving her Michinoku drivers.
It's a very short space of time between precious Jim just told his baby so gingerly.
Newborn
Newborn
babies are born tough enough that first-time parents can't break them. Yeah. That was one of the things I was told.
Yeah, but I always worry that that's a challenge.
Only to you.
My wife is there on this gurney. She's got a massive bandage around her lower abdomen. She's got the oxygen thing up her nose. Her hair's she's been awake for 24 hours and she's holding the baby. And she says to me, "Take a photo."
Did she say it like David?
Oh, take a photo.
No, seriously. And I was like, "Are you sure? Because in our NCT class, I'll take a photo."
Yeah, you'd learned your lesson
the
first time round.
Photo, and I'm not allowed to show it to anyone ever. But I revel in that fucking photo.
Absolutely.
And I think she's absolutely wonderful.
And you're never tempted by like the Instagram likes you get.
Yeah, there's no filter in the world.
Just a full sheet of perspex.
Yeah.
Frosted perspex.
And I hate to be that dad. It's like, "Oh, change your life." It's weird. It really is.
I think that's.
It's like we've always joked about like stereotypes of races or types of people. It's the same with cliches. They're there for a reason.
No, sure.
They're there because they're true. Now I'm saying that stereotypes of racial slurs are true. But you know what I mean? Things appear because
evidence. Some of them are lazy.
There's been evidence of it in the past enough for somebody to draw that comparison at some point.
Yeah.
There you go.
And if you think bringing another human into the world won't change your life, what did you
Yeah.
I know I sound like a load of water falling into a lake then.
What Gangnam Style?
What? My life has changed.
You sound like Carl Grafowski's mum.
Hey, tiny baby.
You've shit yourself.
The current thing is to do the Mars Attacks noise. I think she thinks she's talking, but she's just going,
Nice. At least if you're going to reference a mid-90s movie, there's worse.
Yeah.
If you can do the Event Horizon shit, that'd be...
Yeah, give it time.
I really cool. I when I bought that movie on VHS, it came with a T-shirt, but it was already too small. I was only like,
Is it Marc we're talking about?
Yeah. But it came with a T-shirt.
Right.
The T-shirt was already too small for me. And what movie? If it came out say 95, I would have been.
I could believe that.
95, 96,
I would have been 8, 9,
Really?
depending on when in the year it came out. And I remember the T-shirt already being too small for me. I'm like, well, how many small children are buying this T-shirt?
Yeah.
This.
underrated.
Why are you buying a VHS with a T-shirt? It's a fun movie. I've seen it. It's a fun movie.
That's good fun.
Yeah, it's one of those ones that there's so many movies, and like we learned this a couple of months ago when I saw Jaws for the first time, age 32.
Yeah.
There's so many movies that I think I've seen enough of. I've convinced myself I've seen them until I actually watch them all the way through, and I go,
Okay.
"Oh shit, I don't know any of this."
I get that. I'll get the other way as well, where it was Centurion.
You convinced yourself you haven't seen the movie.
I bought the movie Centurion.
So I had to make sure.
No. When I moved house, I left a lot of my DVDs in boxes in the old flat because in storage because I just didn't need them anymore.
Yeah.
Got Netflix and Centurion was on it. I was like, you know what? I've always wanted to watch that movie. I remember I was going to buy it in Tesco once and never did. Watching it, and I was like, I've seen this movie. And only a few weeks after that, I went back and was getting a few more DVDs out, and there it was. I'd already bought it. Watched
the
it.
Warriors.
Yeah. Is it Centurion that's the Warriors, or is it the other one? Because there's
the film The Warriors is based on the actual legend of the Roman troop.
Yes, but there's two. There's the Centurion and there's the 13th Legion.
Okay.
They're two parts of the same story, and Warriors is one of them.
The Warriors is an 80s movie.
Yeah. But Warriors is an adaptation.
Warriors was based on the story that Centurion was based on.
Centurion is the losing of the standard, and 13th Legion is them getting the standard back.
Centurion is they get trapped behind enemy lines and
That's it.
back.
Yeah, and they lose the standard.
I'm getting an episode of Rome thrown in there.
Yeah. And in 13th Legion, they get the standard back. Mm-hmm. And I think Warriors is 13th Legion rather than Centurion.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Possibly. I haven't seen Warriors. I have to be honest with you. Yeah, no, it's one of those.
Again, this could be one for me.
I've seen it.
I'm 34. I've still seen the first Back to the Future movie.
Yeah.
You could stop there.
Second one's all right.
I'm not a massive fan of any of them. I like them.
Third one's probably third one's by far the weakest.
I did a secret cinema for it, and that was fun.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I've never done one.
Actually, I did the Dirty Dancing one, and that was fucking incredible.
I was doing Time of Life dance with my daughter this morning. She was really upset, and I did the lift, and she was just giggling, and then we were spinning around.
You know, when
then
I put her in the corner. Rocky Horror, they have what they call a shadow cast. People acting out of it to the screen. When we did the Dirty Dancing bit, there guys dancing along, and they were spot on in Time of Life screen. It was incredible.
I was like, when you get like, I remember watching Irish dancing and that kind of choreographed. There's an Indian style of dance, not Bhangra dancing, but that style of dance, where they are like to the millimeter. Yeah. And that's metric. They're in step with each, and it's amazing how two people can move their bodies perfectly, let alone like a line of 50. Like you watch like line dancing, and they're dancing together. But when you see like Irish dancing and their feet have got those sort of metal studs underneath that clack, or like river dance, and they are bang, and you get people of all different shapes, heights, sizes, and weights, and it amazes me. It's one of those things I'll never understand when I'm looking at it, how people are that in tune with each other. Because I can't.
We can barely get three blokes around the microphone in tune with each other.
I know.
For real, double noise.
I thought that you said we can barely get three Blakes around the microphone.
We can't even get one.
And then I just imagined him doing a barbershop, hello. I don't know why.
What if he's off doing his own podcast?
Blakecast.
I'll understand. I'm disappointed, but I'll understand. And I'll also give it a week.
That's kind of my dad's story, I guess.
Yeah.
I became a dad.
Fair enough.
Your dad's story would be how you were born. Sure.
I was going to say, your story of how you became a dad, we're not telling on the air.
No, I called it.
Fucking.
I'm there with the cliff notes there. The York notes here, aren't they?
I don't know, is that metric?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, notes are neither metric nor imperial, they're a musical scale.
Wow.
Fucking.
You got anything you're bringing to the table? Or will I just dominate the whole episode?
No, I mean, the only thing that's happened to me with that even remotely within the realm of comparable is that Jen keeps asking me questions that make me feel stupid.
Nice.
So, and the reason I say it's very
Yeah, there we go. Can we just vision the fact that me and Brad just tucked our chairs in, rubbed our hands together, and leant forward ready for this?
Right. So the reason I say it's even remotely similar is because I know that when you're a dad, as you get older, the kids start to ask you questions, and you realise how little you know. So this is happening to me now.
Okay. My mother actually looks at me and goes, "Daddy?" I'm like, "I don't know."
Sure. So the other day she asked me, and this is I'll do my best to phrase it as simply as I can. If you're driving along and somebody opens their car door into your car, whose fault is it? And I went, and my brain just went, no, you can't have it.
Oh, so you're driving along in a parked car.
So you're driving along and a parked car opens one of their doors into your car as you're driving past. Or you drive into it because it's sort of last second. Who would be liable? So I know the answer now, but I didn't know.
I would assume that would be not for no.
I would think technically it's the mobile car, because that's the type of stuff you look out for on your hazard perception test when you're learning to drive.
Yes.
However, it is also the fault of the person opening the door, but part of the tests and everything to get a license wouldn't involve you opening your door or a passenger possibly. Yeah. Therefore, it's that kind of, there's no law for opening a door, but there's a law for driving. So I'd be tempted to say that in a court of law, the driver would be the one at fault, even if that's bullshit. Like the fact that unless something absolutely crazy happens, a pedestrian being hit by a car is the car's fault. Unless they run out from behind, you can prove that there's no chance you could stop.
Yeah.
Then it's always the driver's fault.
You're on the kind of right line. So
or similarly, like
you're on the right lines.
I did like a 5 mile an hour bonk into the back of another car. Even though it was that car that stopped too sharply, it was as far as my insurance was concerned, it was my fault. Right. Because I hit the rear of another car.
Wham. Human League. What we do?
Okay, so what's the
right? So this this is one I have to explain kind of. So if you're driving along and somebody opens their car door into your car, it's the person who opened the door's fault if they do it while you're kind of driving past, because you're not expected to know what's going on to the side of you.
No.
Oh. However, so this is basically what it comes down to is when the door is opened. So if this is thrilling, I know. If the passenger of the car that's parked checks around and it's all clear, and they open the door and the car smashes into it while the door's open, and
if you hit the inside of the door where you put your shit,
that's the driver's fault.
That's the driver's fault. Yeah.
If a car's driving along and the door opens at the last second, that is the person.
You get like a science
park car's fault.
Okay. Yeah.
So in the similar way,
if you're driving, you're stopped at the lights, and the car next to you opens the door and hits you.
That would be the one opening the door, sure.
Yeah, I would guess that would be how it work. Because obviously you could prove from where the car hit you, you could prove that there's no way you could physically.
Oh yeah. People who do that sort of shit.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's news. I got rid of my car, didn't I?
Oh yeah.
Are you asking us so you feel less stupid for not knowing?
No, it was just I was curious as to whether you guys what your opinion was from sort of first instincts, because I went through a kind
of these are fun.
I can't remember. The annoying thing is I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember some of the other ones.
Can we just do riddles instead? I like a good riddle.
I got it on
that riddle.
Oh my god, not a riddle. That's just a question.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't hope to answer. But yeah, that's new. So I got rid of my car. So now I'm.
Not because someone opened the door inside.
This is how this whole thing started.
I'm a walking and training guy. Crazy.
Common.
So yeah, it's fine. I am missing it.
I know a bloke who can get your bike good price.
Yeah, do you? If only I could ride one.
Mr. Rob Halford.
Do you ride bike?
No. Never learned.
There is an increasingly large list of people that can't ride bikes.
I can drive a car, so fuck it.
I can drive a car.
You wait till the next petrol crisis.
Drive a diesel or something.
Any day now.
Yeah. Well, no, Asda are going to sell it. Well, no, that's the knock-on effect. Asda have been advertising they're going to knock down their petrol, haven't they?
Yeah.
But that causes a shortage because everybody goes to Asda and just buys it out.
Yeah, sure.
Which is what they want, it's business.
Well, to be fair,
the idea of business is to sell all the stock you have.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh no, I've run out. I'm sold out bikes.
I would say 90% of fuel crises are caused by warnings of fuel crises in the papers. Yeah. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like selling out bread and milk.
Yeah, exactly. There's a running joke with a guy called John. Shout out to John if you're listening.
Hey John. Wow.
he's every time there's snow, he's like, fucking go and get all the bread and milk. And we just go back and forth in capital letters. Did you get all the bread and milk? I saw another.
That's going to go down because, we're living in a more, I hate to say it, millennial world, and, there's gluten allergies.
Oh, yeah.
There'll be the almond milk and
all the quinoa.
Then we'll go and squeeze the
I'm
almonds.
convinced I could hold up all of Soho with a loaf of bread.
You are not wrong.
And if you had a Skype call, Seattle.
Well, quite, yeah. Speaking of Soho, I found something that really fucked me off the other day.
Oh, this is going to be good.
In Soho, right? So, it's a restaurant called Hip Chips.
Oh, here we go.
All right. So, from the name,
yeah,
what would you?
Chips.
I'll give you a clue. The first half is probably short for hipster.
Yeah, I think I know. Is it? Hip chip. There's two I've heard of recently,
right? And
both would work. So it's either an American type fries restaurant.
Right.
I think it's more of like a Walker's Crisps, a varium, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. It's
American term for crisps. Yeah.
It is crisps.
It is. Oh, I think I've seen a video of it.
It's a portion of crisps and up to 6 dips.
Oh, wow.
The dip. Now, I will qualify it by saying that the dips some of them sound quite nice. They're sort of nice sounding flavours.
They got lime and cheese.
I didn't see lime and cheese. I'll have to check next time I'm passing.
Scowling at
having
it.
said that, I have got it on my phone.
Here's the problem though. How much is a portion?
Lime Doritos and their cheese sauce, fucking amazing.
All right.
How much is a portion? Because if we're a couple of quid, it's fine. I mean. You're buying some crisps.
So brace
it's fine. That's a perfectly fine thing to sell.
Yourself.
How much is it in Norway? Iceland's fuck. That's racist. Sorry, everyone.
No, not you. No. You were asking how much crisps were, so you could go to Iceland where Mum's shop.
So I'll read you some of the flavours.
Okay.
So they're quite, like I say, some of them sound quite nice. There's
boiling hot treacle.
Katsu curry.
Okay, that'd be nice.
That's all right, isn't it? Smoky cheese fondue.
Okay, yeah.
If you do dairy, that's cool.
Yeah, if you don't like shit.
Which I mean is weird in Soho, right? Because most hipsters are like, oh no, I couldn't possibly. Unless it's on vinyl.
Just imagine cheese on a vinyl.
And then in the sweet ones, they've got.
They'll do that as a special serving.
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
Chips on a
stick. There's a Facebook page I recommend called something like We Want Plates.
Okay.
And it's just people say like, here's my soup in a boot. Fuck off.
So in the sweet one, they've got chocolate salted caramel.
Okay.
Which I'm quite.
These all sound fine.
I'm not a massive.
If you offered me like any of these on a plate now, I'd be like, okay, lovely, cool.
So the large portion is
you know what I mean.
Crisps. I don't know. It doesn't say how many. So like,
at least 2.
I think I've seen them. They also do like veggie crisps and stuff like that.
They do a choice of.
I can't remember that. They remind me of potpourri.
Seven different potatoes to craft your chips from.
Wonderful.
Your crisps.
Cram them right up your arsehole.
They also, I mean, obviously it's Soho.
They're not doing Monster Munch on the kids' menu.
No. They have Apparition Crunch. I don't know. It seems similar, but not the same. Yeah. But then, obviously, because it's Soho and it's hipstery, they've got, they don't have Coke, they've got Fritz Cola, and they've got, the usual.
Wasn't he that bloke who walled up his daughter?
Fuck me.
That was his defence in court. So the portion they do, the largest one is 6 dips and a portion of crisps, undetermined on the menu.
Yeah.
How much do you reckon they are?
How much? Let's decide differently. How much would I be willing to pay? I get
why not?
Again, it's kind of after. I know it's going to be a lot, right?
Yeah.
But if I walk into a place and they're offering me something like that, it's obviously a bit custom, a bit hipstery, bit. You're not going to go there for dinner, right?
So you're about to say a bit artisan.
Yeah, that's not what I meant.
I learned is code for things made by middle class people that should be made by working class people.
So
it seems quite appropriate when I learned that.
Like a bag of crisps is less than £1 or £1.50 in a petrol station, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
large portion.
Fiver, and I'm being, I'm still thinking it's a waste of money, but I'll give it a go once.
Large portion with dips, yeah.
I think you get change from a tenner, but not much.
Okay.
$1.95 maybe.
Interesting. So Omer, with your fiver, you would just about be able to afford a small.
Fuck my.
Which is two dips.
Shit the bath.
You wouldn't have enough left to have somebody fuck your ass as I am. 50p back from a
You might be so bad.
Brad, your tenner would get you a medium.
Okay.
No, there's more. What?
$11.50.
Fuck me.
Yeah. And that's without a drink or anything.
And I guess, I want another dip. I want one of every dip. That's going to be, another fucking...
It's not even on the menu.
Stick an egg in my arse.
You have to ask.
Fuck me till it's scrambled.
Do you feel that we're in the wrong business? We should be coming up with...
I constantly think I'm in the wrong business. I'm
a good wrestler. Don't ever say that.
I was not a good wrestler. I was a good performer. I've had people tell me I'm a shit British Ric Flair.
Yeah. Should we say it to me?
I found this out the other day, right?
Thanks,
so
Dad.
through a long, I'm not in the wrong business. I'm not making enough money out of it.
Fair, yeah.
Just before Christmas, through a long turn of twists with a customer, I ended up in the bike part of Halfords to pick something up for someone. Friend of the shop, I couldn't get a particular part, a particular thing for them, and they don't drive, and I offered after work, like the following day, I'll go get it from Halfords for you. Right, give me the money. And a bloke brought in a bike for a certain amount of, I won't bother people with the details of what he wanted, but as he's talking, I'm pricing it up as if I was in my shop. 75, maybe £80, and I'm thinking, ooh, I wouldn't go for it. His bike's a bit knackered, you know what I mean?
Better. You're thinking it's like going to be easier to just get it.
Yeah. I mean, I can do a brand new mountain bike at 135, and it looked kind of similar to the ones. And I'm thinking £80, that's fine. Let's say you go for it, but what's going to break next week?
Yeah.
Right? Do you know what I mean? £208. Right? And I was really, really busy before Christmas. Obviously, it's Christmas. So I'm again going, no, you can probably pick it up. I mean, now's late at night, but let's say you dropped it in as I'm shutting. You can probably pick it up tomorrow late lunch, 2ish, maybe 3.
Okay.
This was the day before Christmas Eve. They said to him, and we'll see you in the new year.
Wow.
£208 for a job I would have done for 80 and still felt like I'm ripping you off.
Yeah.
And so I probably would have been doing it and gone, oh, he needs one of these, I'll chuck it in, because that is a lot of money.
Yeah.
And it took, more than 2, nearly 3 weeks to get his bike. And I'm thinking, people go.
Yeah, sure.
Do you know what my dad always says when he talks to people about like competition with big shops? He always says, you go in, they've got TV adverts and they've got all these big shiny lights. And I know it's a simple way of looking at it, but that's exactly, especially the big shiny lights. Everything looks lovely, and they can buy their bikes at 10,000 at once. They must be offering you a good price. No, they're ripping you off. They're absolutely ripping you off, and they weren't doing a lot of work. They were doing maybe 4 or 5 hours work.
Just a quick note to Halfords: the thoughts of Omer do not represent the thoughts of the Crazy Train as a whole, or
some of us really like Judas Priest.
No, they just represent 75% of the fucking bike trade. You cunt.
I'll Voltaire you, it's fine.
Seriously, I get that they do a brand called...
Are there any other big name brand bike retailers?
Rally for a little while used to have a thing called Cycle Life where they would basically rebrand your shop as Rally.
Okay.
But that's about the closest you're going to get. There's Evans Cycles.
Oh yeah.
They're really good on the
large ladies' clothing store.
Yeah. Evans Cycles are online as well, and they are pretty good. Where I sell bikes, we tend to do the family trade, so we do the cheaper stuff. Right? I can get you a £700, I can get you a £10,000 bike if you want one, but I sell bikes around the £150 mark.
You do the sort of entry to mid-range.
Absolutely, yeah. I do some slightly nice bits and bobs.
Someone asking for one, you can get.
Absolutely, yeah. And I might keep a £275 or a £350 bike on the shelf.
So you can.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I'll just ring it up. And if you wanted a £500 bike, yeah, I'll pay the tenner postage on that.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like you want it, I'll go get it if it's close enough.
I'll see where you're not making money.
But yes, it just strikes me that people throw money at stuff like that.
Sorry, just the laptop screen went dark and but actually it was just because I hadn't used the mouse in a while.
Oh, okay, silly mouse.
It's all silly.
Naughty mouse.
You stupid bastard.
No, you hit him.
Yeah, and just like that kind of struck me, and I'm looking at other things that people just throw money at that they really don't need to. I was listening to a different podcast today, and they were talking to. I was listening to a different podcast. I was listening to Blake's podcast.
You heard me say I was listening to Crazy Train, right?
Yeah.
And it was talking about getting something fixed. I was in airbed.
Okay.
Having an airbed that had a leak and just he was like hid it from his missus until he could throw it away and buy a new one.
How slow a leak?
That's exactly what I was thinking. To get through the and how he's got a room full of things that need fixing. Okay. And I'm like, that doesn't because things are cheap now. And I'm like, not if you earn less than minimum wage like I do. Like I fix shit.
That's not minimum wage.
Well, exactly. Yeah, it's called the living wage. So fuck that nonsense.
You're living, right?
When about 3 years ago, I worked it out. Like, I earn something like £1.70 an hour. If you take my whole year's
I thought you were going to say
your
financial.
That's what works on my opening hours, and obviously, like the government and the council do some wonderful schemes to top me up with my like council tax. Now I've got a baby, I get a little bit more money to help her out. I'm not saying I'm struggling. I live between my means. But when other people go like, oh, it's £500 to do this, or I played the X-Wing miniatures game, right? Yeah. They were talking about how much it costs to go to Worlds in the States. And the guy was like, with my spending money, blah, blah, blah. It was £938. I was like, I'll never go. I will never, ever be able to afford a trip
Not with that attitude.
to take myself to work. The only way I would get a ticket is to win, maybe...
And charge them postage.
is to win nationals or something here. Yeah. They pay for your ticket, you know. Yeah. But I'll never be able to...
This is a man with a dream.
It's a different thing to be able to say, like, oh, I'll take me and my missus and my baby to Disneyland in America and it's going to be £2,000. That's one thing, but to spend £938 to take myself to a tournament for miniatures in America, and that's not money that's in my reach.
You should spend money on what you want, though.
Yes, but I don't ever have £938.
Maybe you should sell £948 worth of bike and chuck it. Then,
I think give them a 10. I'm not moaning about my but at the same time, I've said this before.
What I'm saying is get good.
The fact that I'm self-employed and can take time off work when I need to, and my daughter comes to see me. Like Charlotte brings my daughter every day to come see me at work. Yeah. That is worth earning 10 times minimum wage.
Yeah.
Like today and yesterday, it was fucking hard work. I've done loads and loads of repairs. I'm absolutely knackered. I haven't slept right in about a week because Litlin isn't sleeping right. Wouldn't change it for the world. Don't think I'm complaining because I'm really not. I could not work for someone anymore.
Not that you didn't go home and go, I could have done with your fucking help today.
I did actually ask for help. There's a tool called a third hand, and what it does is hold. So when you put in cables,
why that new?
It's confusing as fuck. So you use it. It holds brakes shut. You need one hand to hold the brake shut, one hand to hold the cable in place, and one hand to tighten the bolt.
Right.
So the third hand holds it together for you, while your other two hands do the job. But today the particular fitting of the bike wouldn't work. And Charlotte was in the Charlotte and Daisy were in the shop, and I just said, "Sweetheart, come and hold this for us." And Daisy went, "Huh?" And I was like, "You couldn't reach with both of your arms, so I think I was talking to your mum."
I'm self-employed now, and I am way below minimum wage. But as you say, the lifestyle was worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. Being able to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I'm not. Do what you got to do.
I'm self-employed and haven't figured out what I'm doing yet.
There you go. What? No, that's not self-employed. That's without a job. That's right. The difference between me and being unemployed is that I go to a particular building every day.
For $170 an hour.
Yeah. That was a particularly bad year, don't get me wrong, but Mr. Taxman.
The Mr. Taxman gets no sympathy here. Hear that, you fucking cunt. Yeah, sort that out.
But no, it does make me appreciate when people are like, you know what I really, really hate is that I've got people that through certain things can't work, don't work, whatever, right? And they'll say things like, well, I'm getting paid next week. You are not. You're getting your next set of benefits or payments, and that is fine. There is no shame. I get benefits. I get about 4 different types of benefits between me and my partner.
Yeah.
No shame in that. You need those to live, to top up what you earn. But you're not getting paid.
No.
You know what I mean? You haven't done a job to earn it. And I do guess you do get the thing like my missus where she's at home looking after Daisy, and then she gets money. And how does it? Is that work? Are you getting paid? Is the housewife? Is the house partner? Doing work, but they're not doing. I would say they're doing work. They're not doing a job.
Yeah,
because the job has wages, and there's a set. But you're not getting paid. You're getting money. That's fine.
On a similar but not entirely the same note, because I do take your point about it's tough to be able to afford the things you want sometimes when things are tough. Because obviously I've been in that position before, and that was not fun. What drives me up the fucking wall is people who complain about having no money to X, and then they've got this really expensive, let's say for argument's sake, cosplay outfit.
Yes.
But they've spent hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of pounds to make.
If they made it out of cardboard, well done. Because that's the way I start doing things.
Yeah.
Because I go.
Not lack of specifics.
No, when I was a kid.
I start doing.
When I was a kid, right?
Stuff and that.
Well, I've talked about it here before. Dragonheart was one of my favourite movies when I was a kid, right? The Dragonheart toy. That thing was that thing was so rare then that it was hard to get hold of, right? To get a model of Draco.
Like Tracy Islands.
Yeah, exactly. It was rare to get, and even now I can't afford to get hold of one because they were so rare to get one in any good shape. So I used to take my dinosaurs. I remember I had an off-brand Godzilla style, big vacuum formed plastic toy that the arms and legs move like a teddy bear.
Which is weird. So Far East is normally so respectful of copyright now.
And I made cardboard. I made cardboard wings and a tail tip, and that was Draco. And that has followed me through life. yes, when I play X-Wing and I put lights in my Millennium Falcon, also, do I need this thing? I'll buy this wire instead of buy a new laptop.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that's followed me through life and that. But yeah, when people...
They've got these expensive...
Cosplay is a really good example of it, actually.
Expensive props or something. And it's like, come on.
I had a customer come in my shop, he's got a few really, really nice bikes, right? Yeah. And he had a few kids, and the car had broken down, boiler had broken down, that whole, like, the money just sucked out. Yeah. And he said, I'm sorry, I don't buy bikes in. He's like, well, in that case, would it be okay if I had some of your old boxes so I can sell them on eBay and post them? Like, yeah, cool. It costs me to get rid of that sort of stuff, so you're more than welcome to it. He came back in, picked some up, I cleared some bikes out for him and gave him the boxes. He was saying, yeah, no, absolutely got no money at the minute. And I said, yeah, and he said, well, when I say I've got no money, I really mean I've got no money. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, you get those people who, like, they say they've got no money and they're saving for a holiday. Mm-hmm. Like, that's not no money, I'm saving for something. Yeah, and he was like, well, we are saving for a holiday, we're going to take the kids to the States. I was like, then you have money. Yeah. Like, I know you probably can't just go and get all that money back, but surely you could go and get some of it if you were that hard up that you weren't eating. Yeah. Stop fucking saving for a holiday. It's not important. Don't get in debt for something that you is passing.
No, it's a tricky one, isn't it? Because I've got a friend who listens to the show, actually, and I won't mention his name this time because
it's George Michael.
Right. Well, it's Ammo who wrote in a few.
Yeah, okay.
He drives. He drives an expensive car, right? And he's just bought this expensive car, and it's to the point where somebody can look at it and it seems to cost him £300. That sort of level of car. But, the reason he's bought it is because he's borrowed the money, but he's borrowed it in a way that he can afford to pay back.
Absolutely, live within your means.
Exactly.
My dad used to...
No one opens a door into it, he's laughing.
Until now, my dad's always had nice cars.
Yeah.
In my lifetime, I remember my dad having 2 BMs and 2 Mercs. Okay. Right? The trade was a little bit busier than it is to me now, but he could never afford... I remember the last Mercedes he owned was £32,000 new. It was pre-owned when he bought it, and it was £18,000. Right. There's no way he walked into that place with £18,000. He got it on credit. Yeah. But he got it on a credit scheme he could afford. I, for the first time in my life, got a credit card out in January and I'm actually using it for the business. Yeah. So it'll be like, I need to pay off that bill to get more stock, but I'm £400 short. I'll borrow it from myself. Yeah. And it, you get interest, whatever. Yeah. Like, borrow within your means. Absolutely. I've got 2 years before I worry about, like,
I didn't just go to Amazon with cash for this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He says, pointing at his laptop.
Because you're not going to hear it, so you may as well tell them. But absolutely. Borrowing money is fine. Yeah. But just live within your means. Don't. Like, you still have this laptop.
Absolutely.
Any money I'm borrowing is for things I need, like something important that I had to borrow it to top up my rent a little bit. Yeah. And stuff like that. And rent is that whole kind of you're borrowing money and it is throwing it away. It's not. You're getting somewhere to live.
Yeah, and also you don't have to deal with a lot of the bullshit that like property owners.
Absolutely,
like,
there's pros and cons.
I'd
love to own a house one day, but it's not the most important thing on my list of things. Yeah, exactly. I've got a little flat that I do own if I needed to.
Yeah, there you go.
If ever, I'm very, very, very happy and very fortunate my life is the way it is. I just something. What was it? It was a friend of mine who's at work through this and that reason, and he's still getting his wage even though he's out because it's a legal matter.
Right.
And I was told what he was earning. Yeah. Per month to not work. Yeah. And I said the phrase, the things I could do with the money other people throw away. Yeah. He earns, let me think, about 4 to 5 times the amount I earn in a year. Yeah. And he's not at work. Because of it. I would find a way to make more money. Yeah. You know what I mean? I would say I'd be a millionaire, and I'm a pretty lazy guy. I get up 10 minutes before I've got to be at work.
You can, if I did it, I'd be for it.
I actually go by the motto of minimum effort, maximum result. Yeah. That followed me through wrestling. It's followed me through work. For a little while. Don't do. I'm not saying don't go above and beyond, but don't do it if you're not going to get a return, even if that's just a personal return of well-being, of being thought.
I was about to say, because otherwise it'd be like, well, this will be the last episode of the Crazy Train I had an epiphany.
Yeah, we said this at the beginning. We do this because we enjoy it. If nobody listened, I wouldn't do it anymore.
Well, if nothing else, it's a nice way to see you guys.
Yeah. Is this thing on?
We'd be happy.
No one turns up to Davey notes anymore.
But yeah, so. The things I could do with the money other people throw away. Like, this guy isn't working, so he has all the time to do it, and he's got no money. Yeah. His car broke down, he had no money to fix it. I was earning 4 or 5 times what I earn a year, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Why do you not even have
That's what's bugging,
waste it on nice things?
See, I hear people say stuff like, "Oh, there's some." My wife works with charities. Actually, said there are some charities which actually get more money than they're physically able to spend.
Yeah.
And I'm like, give it to me for a day. I will find a way. Otherwise, you can't spend that much money. I fucking can.
Yeah.
He's got a gold-plated bulldog.
There's always more you can do. Sure.
The thing is dead.
Have you seen the size of his to-paint pile? They're having another kid.
Made of lead.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, bigger to paint, isn't it?
Yeah.
Actually, lead anymore, is it?
There is
With white metal.
Actually, do you know what? Somebody did this the other day
Is it
because
more
their kid had been chewing on one, and they were on a YouTube Facebook page.
People will make a video out of anything.
And he was asking, my kid had been chewing on one of my.
Was that Breakthrough series? Blake chews on lead on YouTube.
Still more views in the toy box.
My kid had been chewing on one of my miniatures, like what they're made of, and it was from the company Gripping Beast, and they said they don't use any lead.
Right.
Whether or not there may still be lead in the machine and the mix, because it just gets melted down and thrown through, like they did use lead at one point, there might be a trace, and it might be on the rubber or whatever, but they don't. But they were saying that this company may still use some lead, so be careful if it was one of theirs. So I don't think so. The other day, I had quite a bit of fun with the little bits you snap off the bottom of miniatures when they get a metal miniature. The tab, I think
You
they
gave
call
Daisy
it.
to play with.
Yeah, no,
She smelted it down into a ring of power.
That was actually what I did. I put it into a little thing and smelted it into a little flat disc, just with a little Bunsen, what do you call it? Settling torch. Just to see what it did, and just made like a little flat silver coin style thing. I was like,
For 170 hour, I'd do that as well.
Yeah, that was how quiet it was the last couple of weeks.
And on that note...
back to notes. What, metric ones?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's time to end episode 49 of The Crazy Train. So thank you to Omer Ibrahim.
Wow.
And thank you to Brad Hammerbarnes.
Wow.
I've been your host, Rob Wade. Thank you for listening to The Crazy Train on Emotional 14. If you've enjoyed the show, you can subscribe, rate and review on iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher. We can email at podcast@emotionally14.com. And we also have some social media accounts. Before I do that, guys, where can people find you on social media?
I'm me on Facebook. If you know me, add me on there. If you won't, I won't accept. The only other thing I have is Can't Sleep Must Paint, which is my modding, painting nonsense, a little bit of free time I have doing stuff to stuff in any kind of way.
It's top-notch stuff you use. You're
very
some
much.
sort of fucking sorcerer.
I
would have said sorcerer when I shared it the other day, but I couldn't remember how to spell sorcerer. Maybe Jen.
Sorcerer as in like HP sorcerer.
Yeah.
I do things because I get either challenged to do them or told it can't be done.
Yeah.
Or personally think I can't do it, so I give it a shot. If anybody's seen Star Wars Rebels, and I'm guessing people that have listened to some of your other podcasts have probably listened from there as well.
Probably.
I took a 1 in 270 model of the Ghost from X-Wing, made an undockable Phantom, put spinning guns on it, put lights inside of it, put Hera, Kanan and Ezra in the cockpit.
And Chewie to make my eye twitch.
No, Chewie's in the Falcon. So Can't Sleep Must Paint on Facebook to watch me burn my eyes. If anybody's listening, next time somebody comments on my picture, can you remind me to use my magnifying glass because I'm really starting to get headaches. I'll finish something and somebody will go, did you use magnifying glass? Oh, for fuck's sake.
All right, I shall try and remember that. And if not, there's audio record of it.
There you go. Oh, man, use your magnifying glass.
That's what finally prompted me to buy a new gas mask. My one was 70 years old.
Fair.
Yeah.
And how about you, Brad?
I'm at RealBradHB on Twitter and Instagram. You can search for Brad Hammerbarnes on Facebook. I also run the blog suppression-fire.com for tabletop gaming stuff.
Cool. And you can find me on Twitter at RobWadeVision. You can also find the Emotionally 14 accounts on Twitter at Emotionally 14, Facebook by searching Emotionally 14, and you can find our YouTube channel by searching Emotionally 14. Thank you very much for listening. If you haven't already, share this podcast so somebody else can get on board. Thanks for listening. Get the fuck out of my house.
Crazy.
Wait,
Not you guys.
Before you go. No, whack.